What if the idea of the crowded room full of people makes you want to run the other way? It used to be me. Here's the truth. Networking doesn't have to be a number game. In fact, as introverts, we can actually excel by focusing on quality over quantity. You don't have to change who you are to be an effective networker. You just have to reframe what networking means for you. Welcome back to the show, Brilliance Unleash. And today we are diving into the topic that can many of us introverts break into a sweat: networking. But don't you worry, we are not talking about the traditional work the room style that leaves you wanting to hide behind a plant. We are here to redefine networking so it works for you, not against you. And you've probably heard that networking is essential for building relationships and advancing in your career, in your business. But what if you just don't enjoy schmoozing or small talk? What if the idea of the crowded room full of people makes you want to run the other way? It used to be me. Well, this episode is about actually embracing networking and in a way that aligns with your strengths as introverts. So let's dive in. And I want to start with the big misconception that networking is all about collecting as many business cards, physical or digital, or charming the room full of strangers. Here's the truth. Networking doesn't have to be a number game. In fact, as introverts, we can actually excel by focusing on quality over quantity. Are you with me? Because our strengths as introverts lies in building deeper, more meaningful connection rather than brief surface level interactions. So I want you to think of networking not as an event, but a series of intentional conversations. And guess what? That's exactly what introverts are great at. We are, as introverts, we are great at. We thrive on that one-on-one or small group settings where we can truly engage and listen. You don't have to change who you are to be an effective networker. And I wanted you to allow it to sink in. You don't have to change yourself to be effective networker. You just have to reframe what networking means for you. And here I want to share few strategies that I've applied to myself, and I always share it with my introverted clients because they will help you to show up fully as you are and be an effective networker, whatever it means for you. So listen to those few strategies, and I'm gonna invite you to try them in the next few weeks. So let's dive into those few tips to network without feeling like you need a week to recover afterwards, right? Because that's one of the top challenges after networking, that we need time to recuperate, we need time to recover. And this time is still need to be allocated afterwards. But how can we be more effective? How can we optimize networking events, that those events work for you, not that we work for them? So let's start with a smaller or structured events. So I want you to seek out the events that are more intimate, like workshop panels or small meetups. These settings are less overwhelming and have a structured interaction that takes the pressure off. So starting with something small, something that it has the structure networking, so you can go and be guided. And the time and the amount of people is limited, so you can bring your energy and be fully yourself. Then you can also try online networking because sometimes you can make those initial conversation without even leaving the comfort of your office, of your couch, of your office space. Platforms like, for example, LinkedIn allow you, for example, to reach out, to introduce yourself to people you want to have a conversation one on one, and even setting up that virtual coffee chats before, for example, meeting them in person. And that can ease a little bit of an anxiety because you already build that rapport before you meet them in person. And also, there are pretty good amount of platforms which are offering this online structured networking hour, lunch hour. I'm gonna share the one that I'm attending in the link below, so go and check. Absolutely nice idea and lovely, warm and welcoming setting. So that might be the one you might be looking for. And I'm sure that if you're in the US, Canada, Poland, because I know you're listening, you can find those in your areas. Online world is accessible, so just simply search. The next tip, and I think that it's a very important one, prepare, right? Don't just go as you are. So for those moments when you find yourself in a networking situation, come prepared. Prepared with a few conversation starters or questions. Be ready. Write them down on your phone. Write them down on your notebook. Have them in mind. So then you can always ask that question and give yourself a moment to settle down, to ground yourself in that conversation, because you won't you won't have to rely on the awkward small talk, and you can steer the conversation. So you're going to put yourself behind the steering wheel in those networking events. Sounds amazing, right? And you can steer those conversations towards the topic that you are interested in. I'm going to give you like a pro tip that asking people about their work, their passion projects, if you're, for example, in a professional settings, or talking about their hobby, it's a great way to break the ice. While they will be happy to share enthusiastically, and you can listen without feeling like you need to carry the conversation. I think that it's a really good tip. And I no longer have those questions because I've already have them in my mind. But at the beginning, I was just thinking about a few questions. And I was setting also the agenda and the goal of the networking. Why am I going there? What am I trying to achieve? And how many people I want to meet? And if I'm okay with that networking, that I'm going to meet one person, I'm going to have a genuine conversation, I'm fine. But what if I'm just gonna go and explore, and then I will need those questions. Another pro tip might be that you come early, so you're the one waiting when the crowd is coming, so they will come to you. You don't have to make an effort to be present and to go and ask them and talk to people, because people will come to you. So that is like a tip. Just be early and to allow people to come to you. And in terms of preparation, I like to have even sometimes just like really 30 seconds of going on the side, or if needed, standing outside that networking event, grounding myself, connecting with my body, ground myself, and be ready to come with a clear mind. What is the intention? What I want to get out, and allowing myself to leave whatever I feel like it. You don't have to be there. Nobody's forcing you. So you have possibility to leave in any moment. And if you are with someone, let them know so they are okay with you leaving in the middle of the networking event. It really takes away the pressure from being and constantly be present. So it's like, okay, if I don't feel like it, I'm just gonna leave. That's perfectly fine. because you need to take care of your energy. And this is another pro tip I want to dive in the next episode more about the energy management. But if we talk about networking, so this um, energy management is it's crucial. It's crucial for you. So if you need to take breaks between during the networking event, do it. Go outside, go to the toilet, grab a water, uh, look outside the window, check with yourself where your energy is. And if it's absolutely depleted, leave, because your energy is important. And if you have that networking event, make sure that you don't pack your day with other events and other meetings if possible. Make it as smooth as possible for yourself and give yourself time afterwards to recuperate. I always do it that like when I have that networking event, I know that I won't be active for the rest of the day, so I plan my day accordingly. And mm, and if you have a friend, colleague who is extroverted, who is amazing networking, like I have, and I was lucky to start my networking as an entrepreneur with my friend, who is absolutely, she is a master in connections, a master in creating connections, making connections. So I was tagging along with her at the beginning to observe her techniques, to observe how she's doing, and to give myself a little bit of a breather between the people I wanted to talk and myself. And it gave me that possibility to walk away from the conversation if I don't feel right. Uh, and it was working for a while, but then I realize I need to find my own way of networking. And if I want to have this genuine conversation, I need to do it on my own terms. So hence those pro tips that I shared with you. And I think the most important part is just be curious. Be curious what other people have to say. If you ask the right questions, absolutely the conversation will flow. And take care of your energy, because you have certain amount, right? You have there's your energy is one of the resource, and it's not infinitive. So be gentle how you are taking care of that energy. And your strengths or our strengths as an introverts, it's that deeper connection. So build those deep connections, because you are shining there. And after you make an initial connection, the follow up is the key. And I know that is another struggle. And this is where your strengths of building deeper relationships comes into the play. So don't just send generic "nice to meet you" email. Instead, reference something specific you talked about, right? When you ask that question about that, what makes them tick, what makes them shine, and what is their favorite project or their hobby, write about that. Build on that. Build on that what you've heard, and offer them to help with something, whatever you need, or if they can help you. And as a bonus tip, so instead of attending large groups events, try setting small one-on-one coffee meetings. It's also networking. It's just a different way of doing it. And I love those follow-up virtual coffees with people I've met on those big events. I choose few that I have a great conversation and I following up with them. And if you want to make it more structured, prepare for yourself just a few sentences that you will adjust thinking for meeting them on this networking event. The key takeaway I want you to take with you today, just awareness and networking doesn't have to be overwhelming, especially if you play it to your strengths, right? So focus on quality, prepare ahead, and follow up with being intentional. And I want to invite you and challenge you a little bit to try a new networking approach, whether it's reaching out to someone online, attending smaller event, scheduling one-on-one meeting. Do the first step. And don't worry, we will be back next time to talk about how to manage your energy when you're balancing solitude with the social demands. My invitation and challenge in one: go and reach out to someone online, attend a smaller event, schedule one-on-one meeting with all those tips that I've shared with you, and see how the networking open up different opportunities for you. And if you have any questions, if you want to know more, if you want to work on that with me, you can always schedule free of charge coaching conversation when we're going to dive deeper in what's bothering you, what's stopping you, what's holding you back from achieving the goals, the life, career you want. So under this episode, you will find link to the free of charge 45-minute conversation with me and link to online networking event that you will feel safe. Thank you for tuning in to Brilliance Unleashed, and hit the subscribe button. Share with the people who needs to hear that. Spread the word and stay tuned for another episode about energy management. So let's dive into this topic because it's gonna be a game changer for you.